fastest PlayStation racers from the UK and Ireland have come to the home of British motor racing to compete for a seat in a professional race team.
You've got to control the car, and at the moment the car is controlling you.
They may have raced on a game, but over the past week they've had to prove they've got what it takes to race for real.
Not that much speed through the corners.
I've been following their Silverstone journey to witness firsthand the unique driver selection process.
Oh, they're tipping already! Get in there, son!
We're down to the final 3 gamers, and they've got just one more day to impress the judges.
What I'm looking for you to do is drive the car quickly and consistently, Des, without me having to shout at you too much.
What we want to see now is someone who's going to pull it out of the bag and say, I want this.
The judges will have to choose either Des Foley, David Williams or Jack O'Neill to move forward into a head-to-head race against the 5 fastest gamers from Europe.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact there.
The winner of that race will earn a seat at the Dubai 24 Hours. This morning, the judges have taken their gamers onto Silverstone's national circuit for a tutoring session before the final 2 challenges.
We get on the edge, make a couple of mistakes, fine. I make mistakes, Rob makes mistakes, every professional racing driver makes mistakes. But we have to find the edge.
There's only 3 left now. What is in store for them today?
We've brought them so far, but 2 really tough challenges for them today. They're not just driving the cars now, we're starting to move into the racing territory, so looking at how they compete against each other.
Equally so, when the pressure really comes to the fore, are they going to be able to cope with it and not make mistakes?
It's 5th gear in there, dude.
Have you seen a racing driver yet?
I'm still waiting to see the racing driver I think that we need to take to Dubai, but hopefully, you know, with the up-and-coming activities we have for them, that bar is going to start to rise and we're going to see a really tough competition.
Good, off the brakes, off the brakes, off the brakes. Again, just slowing it down a little bit too much now.
The gamers have been on track all week, and today Rob and Johnny must decide which one they should take forward in the competition.
I have a concern if David's our man. He'll come into cops in that race situation in a pack. Big slide, runs wide. He'll go from wherever he is to bone last. And he hasn't got the raw pace to get himself back up there. Jack will go round like a metronome. Perhaps not quite as quickly as Des or David, but consistent all the time. Des is probably the fastest of the lot, but big slides and he's all over the place. He's very aggressive.
Okay.
The first big challenge of the day. It's over to the Stowe circuit.
Okay guys, this is the benchmark. I think you might be familiar with this one. This is what you did on day 1.
This challenge is all about progression. The gamers must beat the time they set on the Stowe circuit on their first day.
So the format remains exactly the same. You'll leave from here, a warm-up lap, the lap of your life against a stopwatch, and then a cool-down lap back into the pit lane.
What we're expecting and what we really want to see is you beat your time that you did on day 1, so you've really got to focus on this. Good luck.
First up is Jack O'Neill with a time to beat of 64.42 seconds.
Okay, here comes Jack. This is the start of his flying lap now.
Jack started well by winning the karting on day 1.
It's the first time we've actually competitively raced against each other, and it's great to come out on top.
He's since ranked in the top 3 in all but one of the challenges.
First man down, 6 seconds.
He put that brief blip to the back of his mind and once again made himself the man to beat in the last challenge with his lightning-quick reaction times.
He just has to absolutely boot it up here. Here he comes. Well, Steady Jack looks steady as usual. Was he faster?
That was Jack O'Neill, 65.53.
Yeah, that's not so sharp.
I can go faster, but I think over that lap I think the best I can. Good.
I'm really disappointed. He was so fast in the karting. He did a good time on day 1, and that's terrible.
Jack is over a second slower than on day 1. In motor racing, even tenths of seconds can be the difference between being on and off the podium. David Williams is up next, needing to beat his time of 64.39 seconds.
Now, this guy's a bright boy, but he needs to just get a bit of fire in his belly, do you know what I mean?
He seems to be the only one who has started to come into his own.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is where he's going to really raise his own personal bar.
David spent the week under the radar and rarely stood out to the judges.
David's something that, again, we haven't really seen the character come out.
But as the week progressed, so did his driving skills.
This is the best thing we've done so far.
William, did you utter the words you enjoyed that?
Yeah, I said it was the best thing we've done.
Yeah, cool, and you excelled at it, well done.
From here, David started to emerge as a contender.
Now, he's definitely faster through there than Jack was, but then this isn't a race against Jack. This is essentially a race against his old self, David Williams of a few days ago.
Now they've got experience. They came here, what, day one with absolutely nothing. So now we should see a big, big difference.
This is crap as well. 64.77 it is.
Well, that's disappointing.
Both gamers have failed to improve on their times. As endurance racers, they'll need to go fast lap on lap by consistently hitting the correct racing line. After the academy, the winner will undergo intensive training using race simulators and complex eye-tracking equipment to help them improve performance. Miniature cameras will record the movement of their iris, showing which part of the circuit they're focusing on at any one time. The focal point of a professional driver should always be several hundred meters ahead, never directly in front of him. As the driver approaches the corner, he glances at his braking point and then immediately looks for the apex. Passing here, it's all about the exit point. He never looks at where the car is, but where he wants it to be. This corner shows a driver temporarily losing concentration. He forgets to look at the apex and goes too wide, compromising the racing line and losing valuable seconds. Here we see the correct line to take. If the gamers can follow that example, their times will vastly improve.
So this is Des Foley just starting his run.
He's pushing it. He's pushing it.
Dez's time to beat is 63.89 seconds.
We haven't seen the true Des that we saw on day one now. This is a great opportunity for him to redeem himself.
Yeah.
Of all the gamers, Des has proved that he has the most potential to go fast. On day one, he was the man to beat in the benchmark test.
I think the main one is Des, to be honest. He was the quickest.
Good job, well done, mate.
But he hasn't regained his early form, and just yesterday he faced a head-to-head elimination to stay in the academy.
Fist pump visible from pit wall.
He'll be hoping that he's now turned a corner.
Go, 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 go. I don't know how fast he went, but I reckon he enjoyed it.
64.40.
He's gone slower.
He has, hasn't he?
He's gone slower.
Oh, man.
Was it a good lap? Yeah, thank you. I think so. It's tidy.
Despite being the fastest around the track, Des is still half a second slower than he was on day one. None of the gamers have beaten their original benchmark times.
Disappointed probably with all of it at the moment.
Rob and Johnny need the gamers to step it up.
You've got to sort of say and shake yourself and say, I'm fighting for my life here. This is an opportunity that's probably never going to come my way, and I've got to grab it by the scruff of the neck.
And you just weren't quick enough.
From where I was standing, I thought they all looked like better drivers than they looked on day one.
Well, looking good's one thing, but looking good and being slow is not what we're here to do. We're not here to look pretty.
The cost of you being here, the driver development programme and the drive in Dubai is give or take €900,000. If I was stood here with a suitcase with €900,000 in it and said, right, drive the thing, would you have driven it any differently? For that €900,000.
That's a difficult question. I think we were probably a bit too cautious with this. You said lap of your life, we just didn't want to spin off.
Start up in your game.
All right, yeah.
Genuinely thought I was quicker.
I wasn't sure. I knew I was a hell of a lot neater and tidier.
Yeah, and braking
like
was safer, like safer and more consistent.
The thing is, if you brake too late, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So you know, you don't want to be in that scenario where you can't actually get the car to the apex. So.
No, I think we were just all too cautious. Just shows how much we all wanted.